Hey everyone, Sleepy here, back again with some new pickups. We'll start off with some game store finds. I hit up two game stores this week. The first one that I went to, I have not been to for like 4 or 5 months now. It's been quite a while. They're just a little distance from me, so I don't go out to them very often. But I figured, it's been a while, I might as well hit them up and see if they got restocked in any classic Xbox games. Unfortunately, out of the 400 titles they had, which, they do have a big selection, I already had all of them. So I didn't find any games there, but it wasn't a complete bust. I did get two accessories, which we'll go over here in just a moment. But I did hit up their clearance section, and they had a whole big stack of retro game magazines there. These are the same magazines that I saw there like a year ago. At that time, they were priced at $5. And when I was there like 6 months ago, they were still at $5. None of them had sold, People aren't going to pay $5 for an old game magazine. I definitely am not. That's why I passed on them. But this time, they had them all marked down to $1 each. So at that price, I'm totally fine paying $1 for an issue. So I picked them up. I did leave a few issues behind because they were ones I already owned, so there was no point in picking up doubles. But I did grab copies of ones I did not have. So first up, we had Ultra Game Players. That was January 1998, Ultra Game Players February 1998, and Ultra Game Players March 1998, so that's pretty cool. They also had some old classic Game Informer magazines. It's actually one of the few magazines I'm still subscribed to today. I do enjoy the magazine, think it's great. I do want to get all of them, so I've been on the lookout for some of these older issues, and I've had no luck locally until now, which is awesome. They had a nice little stack of old ones, and for $1 each, you can't go wrong. I had issue number 77, issue number 81, issue 87, issue 88, 89, and finally issue number 90. So very awesome. I'm always on the lookout for these much older Game Informers, so really cool to get these. They're really awesome. So now 81 is now the earliest Game Informer issue that I own, so that's cool. They had a couple of really old ones here, like this one here was from December 1992, and it was Game Player Nintendo Guy, which is awesome. Classic early 90s. Those are really my all-time favorite magazines. I absolutely love these, because when I was a kid, we did not really have the internet, so it's not like today where you can go on, check out a game, is it awesome, check out the gameplay review on it. You didn't have that when I was a kid. You either found out stuff by renting it, maybe you had the unfortunate of buying a bad game, you were stuck with it, you talked to your friends, or you bought game magazines like this to get an idea of what the games were like. So I really love these. These bring back a lot of memories for me, and I love reading, especially these older ones, so that was really cool to get. A couple of newer electronic gaming ones. We had Electronic Gaming Monthly, Spring 2010. This was issue number 238. EGM number 227. EGM number 218. They had one old Tips and Tricks magazine, and this one was from April 1997. You can see how old it is, how the paper they used back then wasn't as great as the paper they use today, so that's kind of neat thing there. This next one is probably my favorite pickup issue, because I love Game Pro, and this is a really old issue, and this was from November of 1992, which is awesome. Really big, 32 big pages of stuff. It even has a Street Fighter 2 poster in here, which is awesome. Talks about classic Sonic and stuff, Sega CD. Really awesome. Love these old ones, so that was a neat find. They had some EGM 2 issues. They had number 42. Number 47, so that was cool. Even had some Nintendo Powers on clearance for $1 each. That's awesome, because Nintendo Powers in my area usually sell for, cheapest is usually like $5, but they're usually higher than that, just because they are collectible. So I was really happy to see these were down to $1. We got volume number 157, volume number 164, volume 217, and finally volume 218. So very awesome. I do want to get all the Nintendo Powers out there, but I want to definitely get them as cheap as possible. So anytime they got them for $1, I'll pick them up. So very happy with all that. They did have a cool accessory, though, that I've been looking for. Just have not had luck finding it. and that was the Silent Scope rifle. I wanted to get it for my Silent Scope trilogy game. I finally ran into it, and for the $15 price they had it, I could not say no. It's in pretty good condition. I mean, a little beat up, but for $15, you really can't say no. They even gave me a copy of the game for free. That was awesome. Complete, excellent condition. Works fine. Already tested it. Love it. Very happy to add this to the collection now. The guy actually gave me a free game for buying that, because he said it was something he had not been able to get rid of. He had it there for a while, and that was this old Real World Golf box set. And you can see it's kind of jacked up, but it works. You know, the guy told me it works fine. He just could not get anyone to buy it, and he knows that I love Xbox, so he just gave it to me for buying the other one. So that's awesome. Definitely add it to the collection. I'm going to be on the lookout for a little bit better one, but you know, for free, I'm not going to say no. So very happy with that. And now we'll move on to stuff from the second game store. This store did not have a whole lot of Xbox games. They had sent off a lot of them to another location just because they just don't sell well there. So again, another store I didn't find any games at, but they still had tons of these old Xbox magazines, which I love the official Xbox magazine. You know, I'd like to collect all of those as well. Unfortunately, you know, they used to have them priced really high. They were like $5 and $6 an issue, which I'm not going to pay. They had them down to $3 an issue, and I grabbed all of them. Some of them are newer. Were still wrapped with the CDs and stuff. And I was talking with one of the guys there and asked, you know, if he'd be willing to go down if I bought all of them for like $2 each, and he said no. Sorry, but these, you know, these issues are worth like $5. You know, the least we'll sell them for is $3, which, you know, kind of made me laugh to myself, because these have been sitting there for like 2 years and not a single issue is sold except for the couple that I've bought here and there. So because of that, you know, I only picked up select ones, so I picked up the older ones. These were $3 an issue, which is still a decent deal. I wish I could have got them all for $2, but you know, sometimes people just aren't willing to do a deal with you, so. But I did get January 2002. This was issue number 2, so that's cool. I just need to get the first one, so really happy with that. January 2003. We had March 2003. April 2003. Unfortunately, none of these came with the demo discs, which I really wish they would have, but I'll have to piece those together myself at some point. May 2003. We have September 2003, October 2003, Holiday 2003, January 2004, February 2004, May 2004, July 2004, September 2004, October 2005, and November 2004. So those were all the Xbox items I picked up, you know, for $3. I wanted to get the older ones. Like I said, they had newer ones there, but I didn't want to get them all for $3 just because that was a lot of money. I mean, it's still a great deal, but I'm hoping to go back there here in another week or a few days or something, and maybe I'll get somebody else, and maybe they'll be willing to work out a deal with me. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. Alright, now we'll move on to eBay. Since I haven't been able to find any locally, you know, just went back to eBay and started knocking off more games for my Platinum Hits Xbox list, and the first one I got there was Enter the Matrix. Excellent condition, complete. Cost me $4, so that was awesome. And all the prices I tell you guys is shipped, so, you know, I always get them with the shipping to include the shipping cost. Next up we had the Lord of the Rings 2 Towers. Complete. Really nice condition. That one was $5. This next title is one that's taken me a while to find. Really hard to locate this. I've only ever seen this one copy that was on eBay, and that was MVP Baseball 2005. It is complete, and I got that for $5, so happy with that. Got a copy of True Crime Streets of LA, and this is the Best of Platinum Hits version, which these Best ofs are really been a chore for me to locate. You know, pretty much can only find them on eBay. It's hard to find them locally, so glad to get this complete. Got that for $5. Definitely recommend this game to anyone. Got another Xbox Exhibition. This is Volume 3. Which is really cool. I only need 2 other ones, I think, like Volume 5 and then Volume 7, which is a really tough one to find. I have not seen 7 anywhere, so I'll have to keep an eye out for that one. That was cool. Got another Best of Platinum Hits. This one is Ghost Recon Island Thunder. Paid $6 for that. Very happy to have that off the list now. Next up we got Platinum Hits of Shark Tale. Complete. Got that for $6. Another best of Platinum Hits copy of Tony Hawk's Underground 2, which I recommend the Tony Hawk games. They're awesome. Really fun. Paid $8 for that. Got a copy of X-Men Legends. Absolutely love this series. Great game. Beat this first one. I'm almost done beating the second one. Definitely recommend. If you're an X-Men fan, you like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, these were the games that came before those, and they're awesome. Tons of characters. Really fun party game. Definitely recommend it. Complete. Paid $8 for that. Got a copy of Dave Mirra's Freestyle BMX 2. Another one of the games that's been tough for me to find, so I went online, found it. Great price too. It was only $8 and it was complete, so that's awesome. A copy here of Need for Speed Most Wanted. Love this game. One of my absolute favorite Need for Speed games. It was the first game I owned for the 360. It is complete. Paid $10 for that one. Got a copy of Sonic Heroes, which I had this already, but mine was disc only, so I figured, might as well finally get a complete copy, so happy to get that. It is complete, and I paid $10 for that. I just happened to stumble on this next thing, and that was a bonus for 50-cent Bulletproof, and it was still sealed, which is awesome. It was only $10, so I love getting promo stuff too, so very happy to get that. This next one here came from Canada, and that was the Best of Platinum Hits version of Soul Calibur 2, and that was the only copy I was able to find of it, so very happy to get that now. It is complete. That only cost me $11 shipped, so not bad. Picked up a copy of Crash Bandicoot The Wrath of Cortex. This one only cost me $12. It is complete. The guy put in this little bag protector for me, which is cool. I'm just going to leave it in there. Very happy. This is about a $20 game in my area right now, the Platinum Hits version is, so very happy to get that. Next up, we got a copy of SpongeBob SquarePants the movie. Good condition. Complete. Paid $13 for that one. The SpongeBob games are pretty pricey in my area. They're always like $15 to $25, so I was happy to get that for that price. Next up, we got the Best of Platinum Hits version of Fusion Frenzy. Another one. I always run in the regular version. Never see the Platinum Hits version, the Best of, so very happy to finally get that. It is complete. I paid $13 for that. I got my first Japanese game. Just happened to see this when I was looking for the Platinum Hits version of it. And that was a Japanese version of the first Call of Duty, which is my favorite game, so in the series, I just love the original one the most, so very happy to get that. It was really cool. Definitely recommend it. Of course, I can't play it on my system. I have to use one of the modded ones, but I already have the game in the English version, so I just got this for the collection. Really cool. Really nice condition, and I got that for $14, so that was cool. Next up, got a copy here of Sonic Mega Collection Plus. Really nice condition, complete. Got it for $15. It's the same price that they sell for in my area. But this one's nice, so figured pick it up. Next up, got a copy here of Star Wars Republic Commando. Again, another one of those titles on Platinum Hits I just could not find locally, so I went online and got a better deal because this sells for like 20 to 25, sometimes $30 in my area. Got it for $18 shipped, so that's awesome, and it is complete, so happy with that. Got my very first PAL title for the Xbox, and that was a copy of Largo Winch, Empire Under Threat. A local seller had it. It was like $23. That was with the shipping. Very happy to get that. I'm going to start picking up some of the exclusive PAL and Japanese titles, but I have to factor in shipping in there, and sometimes the shipping is just expensive, and it really can drive up the price of the game. So, I'm being really selective on stuff, but I was happy to finally get my first exclusive there, and in really nice condition, so that was really cool. And the final title I picked up, it was a $50 title, but because of that $20 bill I found in the last pickup video, that actually helped pay for this and brought it down to only $30, and that was a copy of Star Wars Battlefront 2, the Platinum Hits one. Always a $50 to $70, even $80 game in my area. That's what the game stores sell it for. So with that free $20 bill I found, that brought this down to $30. So that was awesome. So happy. Nice condition as well, and I absolutely love this game. Highly recommend the Battlefront series to anybody. It's awesome. If you're playing the new one right now, you've never played the old ones, you've got to play these old ones. They're so much better, a lot more content, really awesome games. Definitely recommend if you got a PS2, Xbox, pick up a copy of this. It's awesome. Alright guys, that's all my pickups. I want to thank you guys for all your support. You guys are awesome. Love interacting with you guys. If you guys want some other ways to connect with me, be sure to check out my Facebook page. It's Facebook.com/Asiansleepy1. I also have my Weebly page that I update with my growing collection every day. And if you guys want to play some games with me, be sure to check out the description. I keep all my gamer tags for the Xbox, for the PlayStation, and Nintendo consoles. So if you guys want to play games with me, send me a friend request, and I'd love to play games with you guys. Take care, have a wonderful day, and Sleepy will see you guys next time.